In the popular imagination of the country, Pittsburgh is known for its pollution, steel mills, and its winning sports teams. But what is often overlooked is Pittsburgh's unique relationship with both science and nature.
Outside the Steel, Biology in Pittsburgh.
Hi, my name's Bob Slatt, and welcome to the 11-Week Show. Today we're in downtown Pittsburgh at the Carnegie Museum of Natural History, where we will be visiting with some of Pittsburgh's prehistoric residents.
The Carnegie Museum of Natural History features some of the most famous dinosaurs known to man. Dr. Matthew Lamanna, Assistant Curator of Vertebrate Paleontology, explains.
We are one of the top natural history museums in the world, and our exhibit is second to none. Our dinosaur collection is among the very best in the world. In fact, it's arguably the best from the Jurassic period, the middle period of the age of dinosaurs.
One of the museum's most astounding fossils on display is also the most famous of dinosaurs.
104 years ago, when a scientist published a scientific paper, naming the genus and species Tyrannosaurus rex, he designated our specimen to always be the name-bearing specimen of that species. So sort of the gold standard by which other specimens are compared. So long story short, here in Pittsburgh, we have the world's first specimen of the world's most famous dinosaur.
Dr. Lamanna was deeply involved with the renovations to the 98-year-old Dinosaur Hall, after which it was renamed Dinosaurs in Their Time. The $34 million renovation provides visitors a very realistic look at the dinosaurs and their natural habitat.
If you look really closely in the exhibit, you'll see footprints of dinosaurs that are on the platforms, and it's not just the footprint of any old dinosaur. They're footprints from the same rock formations where the skeletons are found. So they're the footprints of the very dinosaurs that we're exhibiting. So it's just little touches like that that I'm really proud of in the exhibit.
Even after centuries of archaeological discoveries, Dr. Lamanna's work is nowhere near complete.
People are still finding new dinosaur species at a remarkable rate. Don't think that everything's been discovered. Don't think that, that there's nothing left to do, because frankly, we've only just barely scratched the surface.
Our next stop is the Allegheny Observatory, where we will look above and beyond the Steel City.
I mean, they don't build buildings like this anymore. You got the iron, the steel work, the masonry construction, the woodwork, brass work, stuff like that.
Lou Coben, the observatory's administrator and technician, knows all there is to know about the observatory, from its grand opening to this very day.
This facility, they broke ground here in 1900, but it took about 12 years due to construction difficulties and funding difficulties and stuff like that. It's sort of one of the last grand observatories. Nowadays they're pretty utilitarian. They're built on remote sites, whereas this place is built, it's right in the middle of the city and it's very easily accessible.
The observatory has 3 working telescopes, each with its own story to tell.
We have the 13-inch Fitz-Clarke refractor, which dates back to 1860. Then we have the 30-inch Thaw Memorial refractor, and then we have a brand new telescope that we just put in, 16-inch Meade RCX 400 telescope. That telescope, you can just simply click on a star that's on the screen, say go there, the telescope goes and points to it, the dome rotates around, and you can look at the star like immediately.
Using these telescopes, the observatory has made some revolutionary discoveries.
One of the most significant ones was done by James Edward Keeler, who was the second director of the observatory. He used the rings of Saturn to conclusively prove that they are made up of particulate matter. So that means that, well, it only really means one thing, that the rings of Saturn are actually made up of small particles rather than solid disks.
With the help of its powerful telescopes, its extensive on-site library, and the vast knowledge of its staff, the Allegheny Observatory continues to inspire students to shoot for the stars.
Closer than the stars of the observatory are the birds of the National Aviary.
I just think there's something so special about the ability to fly and the fact that each one is a unique individual and they each have their own personality and they're very special animals.
Here, Erin Estelle, Assistant Director of the Animal Programs Department, uses her love for birds to help the aviary become an experience no visitor will forget.
We like to let people get as close as possible to the birds. And the reason for that is because we really believe that if you get close to the animals, you start to care about them and you want to do something to help protect them in the wild. That's our whole mission, to inspire people to respect birds.
With that mission in mind, the aviary has collected countless birds from around the globe, many of which fly freely through sections of the aviary.
We currently have about 600 birds that are on exhibit and about 200 different species. So we have a pretty diverse collection. There are birds found all over the world here.
The National Aviary is always finding new and exciting ways to get visitors excited about our feathered friends.
Our penguin exhibit, which is brand new here at the aviary this year. We house African penguins in the exhibit, and they were all hand raised, so they're all used to being around people. We hand feed them daily, and there's different times throughout the day where visitors can come and see them be fed, learn all about them, and really get a chance to get to know them.
Between its new exhibit and the countless other birds, the National Aviary is truly an unforgettable experience. Clearing away the smoke and moving past the trophies, you'll find a community dedicated to science and nature within Pittsburgh.
I'm Bob Slatt with the 11-Week Show. And now, back to our studio.